Once upon a time, in a peaceful village surrounded by lush green hills and flowing rivers, there lived two strong and proud goats. One was black, and the other was white. They both lived on opposite sides of a deep valley, where a narrow wooden bridge connected the two mountains. This bridge was the only way for the villagers and animals to cross the river below. One day, both goats happened to arrive at the bridge from opposite ends at the same time. The black goat wanted to cross to the other side, while the white goat wanted to do the same. Since the bridge was too narrow for both of them to cross at once, one of them needed to step back and let the other pass first. However, both goats were stubborn. The black goat said, "I was here first. You need to move back." The white goat refused and replied, "No. I was here first. You move back." Neither of them was willing to compromise. They both stood their ground, glaring at each other, each determined to prove they were stronger. "I am not moving," said the black goat. "Neither am I," replied the white goat. As they continued to argue, time passed, and they grew impatient. They both believed they were more important and deserved to cross first. Soon, their stubbornness turned into anger, and instead of finding a peaceful solution, they decided to push each other out of the way. The black goat lowered his head and stepped forward aggressively. The white goat did the same. They locked horns in the middle of the bridge, trying to force the other to step back. The bridge creaked and swayed under their weight, but they refused to stop fighting. As they pushed and shoved, suddenly, the weak wooden planks beneath them cracked. Both goats lost their balance and tumbled into the river below. The cold water shocked them as they struggled against the strong current. After much effort, they managed to swim to the riverbank. Soaked and exhausted, they climbed out of the water and looked at each other, realizing their foolish mistake. Had one of them simply stepped back and let the other pass first, both would have crossed safely. Instead, their stubbornness had led to disaster. Meanwhile, a wise old goat had been watching everything from the hill. He shook his head and sighed. He then slowly walked up to the bridge and saw that some of the wooden planks had broken due to the fight. Carefully, he waited for another goat to come along. This time, when two other goats met in the middle of the bridge, they did something different. One of them gently stepped back, allowing the other to pass first. Once the first goat had crossed, the second one continued on his way. Both had successfully crossed without any problems. Seeing this, the two stubborn goats finally understood their mistake. They had fought for nothing and ended up suffering because of their pride. They realized that being flexible and cooperative is always better than being stubborn and selfish. Moral of the story: this story teaches us that being stubborn can cause harm. The two goats were so focused on proving their strength that they forgot the importance of compromise. In life, there will always be situations where we need to step back, listen, and find a peaceful solution rather than fighting unnecessarily. Stubbornness and ego can lead to unnecessary conflicts, but understanding and cooperation make life easier for everyone.